Good morning. I hope you had a good Easter weekend. I'm going to go ahead and go over homework 27 Monday with you. So let's go ahead and get started. First one, number 1, find the missing angle. We have 3 angles in a triangle. They should add up to be 180 degrees. But on this one, we only are given 2, so we want to add them together. 100 plus 30 is 130. And we want to do 180 minus 130. So the answer here should be 50. Number 2, John's test grades are 67, 75, 73, and 69. What does he need to make on his next test to have a 73 average? Well, in order to get a 73 average, all 5 scores need to add up and divide by 5 and get 73. So in order to figure out what divided by 5 will give you 73, let's go ahead and multiply by 5 here. So 73 times 5 is 365. So we need to get a total of 365 here. So we're going to add up the scores we currently have. 67 plus 75 plus 73 plus 69. And you get 284 right here. And so, sorry, that should be after the equal sign. In order to figure out what that next number needs to be, we've got to look at 365 minus 284, and that's going to tell us what that last number needs to be in order to have an average of 73. So we're going to do 365 minus 284, and 81 should be the next score. So if you were to add, I'm going to go ahead and put the answer in here. 81. If you were to add up 67, 75, 73, 69, and 81, and then divide by 5, that should give you 73 as your average. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 3. John polled the first 743 people who bought his new product at the store. Will this likely result in a biased sample? Well, when I read this question first, I was like, 743 seems like a lot of people, so that shouldn't be biased. But then I got to thinking, you know what? These people are choosing to purchase the product. It just says the people who bought this new product. So there probably is already some sort of biased opinion there because they chose to purchase the product. So a more random type sampling would be to select a group of customers at random to do a product sample. And that way they're not choosing to purchase the product, and you can truly get a more random sampling that way. All right, number 4, refer to the diagram in the far right, and I went ahead and put them on here. Whose class had the higher mean? Now to get this, you have to add all these up, each of these individual, and there's 25 here and there's 25 here. And so I went ahead and added them up here. When I add all of these, I got 1662. And when I added all of these, I got 1620. Now, I can go ahead and do the math here, but knowing they're both divided by 25, the higher mean is going to be Mr. Kim. Then at part B says if Mr. Kim's shortest student switched to Mrs. Moore's tallest, would it still be true? So the shortest student on Mr. Kim is 59, and if we move 59 here and we took her highest, Mrs. Moore 72, and we moved it here, that's a difference, 72 minus 59, that's a difference of 13. So if we added or subtracted 13 from Mr. Kim, 1662, and we added 13 to Mrs. Moore, 1620, when you do the math there, and you can go ahead and write your answer in, it's still not going to change it's not going to change. So that A would still be true. So it would still be the highest would be Mr. Kim. All right, and number 5. Mrs. Smalls takes up 3/10 of the whiteboard. If a student spits a spitball at her, what is the probability that it does not hit her but lands on the whiteboard? And so if the whole whiteboard is 1, if we say 1 hole there, and we subtract what she takes up, the 3/10, 1 minus 3/10 would be 7/10, and the 7/10 would be your answer here. You could put 7.7. You could put 70%. You could put 7/10. All of those would work. By the way, I do not condone spitting spitwads at your teacher, especially your current homeschool teacher